Hey, welcome back here to the Central PA Pour. It has been quite some time since we were out in front of you. 5 months to the point, I think it was. Last episode was Erie back in June. I just listened to it and I was like, oh shit, we were talking about springtime and rain and mowing grass, and here we are getting ready for Halloween.
Picking up leaves.
Off to my right, your left as you're looking at this, Mr. Dave. Off to my left, your right, Mr. Ben, my middle son. So what's going on?
Not much lately these days. Just working,
sleeping.
It's been a long summer.
Yeah, the summer went extremely fast.
Did you sleep through it?
I did.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
There's been a couple times I've come home from work and I just fallen asleep for a nap.
It ain't Sleeping Beauty, I can tell you that.
No, it failed.
It's more like the Sandman.
Anyways, make sure you give us a like, subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and look us up on the Hopped Up Network. That's a platform that has a bunch of craft beer, craft industry related podcasts just like ours. So check us out on the Hopped Up Network. Social media, look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and sometime we'll get TikTok going.
Talk Tick.
Somebody had to tell me that a long time ago. What the hell was TikTok? So
I thought that was shutting down here soon.
Are they still allowed in the country?
I don't know.
No, I was just curious.
I don't watch the news, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, big thing. Yeah.
It really is.
But it's been a while. We're happy to be back, and we have a wonderful guest in studio. And we're not going to be talking beer today. We're going to be talking a little bit something different. So let's welcome her into the studios. So welcome to the Central PA Pour.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
So tell me, who do we have sitting here?
I'm Jamie Veronic with Talk Bourbons to Me.
Talk Bourbons to Me. See, I said we were doing something totally different today. What do you do with Talk Bourbons to Me? Do they talk to you? Do they speak in your sleep? Is it a voice in your head?
One would think that, no, but it's a side hustle that I have that I basically go to people's homes and do bourbon tastings, go over the history, how to drink it. I sometimes pair it with chocolate. It's gotten so big with doing it at home that corporations have hired me to come into financial institutions or real estate agencies. But it's basically a clever name, Talk Bourbons to Me, because it's not just one bourbon, it's many bourbons that I'm featuring at my different tastings.
So I did notice on your Facebook page, by the way, you can see her on Facebook, right? Is that, you don't have a website, or is it just social media?
I just have Facebook. Yep.
Okay. So I saw on there that you had a picture. You were sitting at your table, and the description was doing homework. So is this fun homework for you, right?
Oh, it's so much fun. But before a tasting, I have to, when I go shopping, I buy the bourbon. I need to know what I'm pairing it with chocolate-wise. So usually like 2 or 3 days before I do a tasting, I want to make sure I'm understanding what I'm tasting and what chocolate to pair it with. So I call it my homework. And the nice thing about it is my husband always is with me, so he gets a little sample as well of stuff that like we normally would never buy for ourselves. Maybe the price point's high, or maybe it's just something we never thought to buy. But yeah, you got to do your homework first.
Okay. So that's an interesting concept. When somebody books you, do you kind of give them an idea of what you're going to bring, or do they ask you, this is what we want to do?
It kind of goes twofold. I would say 75% of the time, the people want me to just go shopping for them. They give me a price point, and then I will either go to Maryland, I'll go to like Delaware area, sometimes even New Jersey, and I'll pick out what I want to buy for them. Very rarely somebody is just like, oh, I have bourbon at my home. Hopefully you've tried that and you can kind of pair that with chocolate. So I think the whole experience from soup to nuts is definitely me shopping for you, because then you're getting bourbon that you can't get here in PA, and you're also getting stuff you've never tried before. So it kind of goes both ways, but I love being able to shop for people, and then I leave the bourbon behind for them.
That's awesome. Wow. That's awesome. This is right up your alley, Dave.
What, shopping for bourbon?
Well, drinking it.
Yeah, drinking it, yeah. I usually go and get the same thing over and over and over again. So it doesn't really
Captain Morgan Black Label. Private stock.
Yeah, that's rum.
Private stock.
That's actually rum.
Rum. Well, that's usually what I see in your cup.
Yeah. or David E.
I tell you what, that I'm not a bourbon person, but the Hidden Stills David E. I think it was the red label, was very, very good. I could drink it.
Yeah, they make a pretty good.
That would be about enough, but I could drink it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do what you and Kevin do and fill up a glass.
I not anymore. I could tell you that. It's gotten to the point that filling this up is enough for the whole day, for me.
So Ben, what do you think?
I'm not much of a big bourbon or whiskey drinker or rum, so this is going to be all new and interesting to me.
Yeah,
And really excited to see what kind of pairings we can.
I
go
think
with.
it's a cool story
Thank you.
that I've been to places and events where they had a bourbon tasting night, and I always was curious, like, you know, what you're doing. It's like, do they select what you're going to bring, or what the behind process was? I think it's cool. And do you always pair it with chocolate, or is there some other things you might pair it with?
So recently I did do cigar pairing with it, but I don't know enough about cigars to get into it, but I'm willing to learn.
I'm sure your husband probably would like to help you on that aspect too.
He probably would.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you need any volunteers, assistants?
Exactly.
Okay.
I have plenty of tests, people to test it out. Yeah. I think what makes it so unique for me is just my taste palette. I'm one of those people, and nose goes very well with like your tasting. My nose is pretty amazing. I can smell when somebody comes in from the house and they have like a skin knee and they're bleeding. I'm usually
Jeez.
able to say like, oh, that person's bleeding before they know it. So I think that goes hand in hand with when you have a good nose, you have a really good taste palette. So with tasting bourbon, I'm able to pull the notes and I guide the different tastings. A lot of people will taste something and immediately they're just like, oh, that's oaky, or that's just really strong, that's burning. But if I'm able to guide them and say like, well, did you taste the vanilla? What about toffee? Did you taste leather at all? People are like, oh my gosh, yeah, I do taste the blackberry, or I do taste the vanilla. It gets people thinking what they might be tasting, because a lot of people don't have that talent or skill to like pull out vanilla versus toffee.
Yeah, we kind of talked about in a couple episodes about the different flavors that you see, and let's just use beer. Like one of them, you mentioned leather.
Yeah.
I don't know what leather tastes like. I'm not going to sit there and lick a leather belt or a leather saddle, or rubber band. People ask, it tastes a rubber band. Like, how the hell do you know what a rubber band tastes like, or unless you're sitting there chewing on it? But a lot of that profile will come out of what the characteristics of the distiller and with the bourbon, what they're using, and in beer they're using the different hops, and the yeast will bring different characteristics and flavors that most people don't understand or never had before.
Yeah. So typically with bourbon, it's kind of crazy. There's a lot of rules with bourbon. So the juice, which is white dog essentially, it has to be at least 51% corn in the mash bill. And so when the mash bill goes into the barrel, I would say, a lot of distillers have different mash bills. Maybe it's going to be 75% corn. Maybe it's only going to be, call it 60% corn. There's other, they use barley, they use, rye. But basically what happens is what makes it taste different is how long it's been stored for, where in the rick house it was stored at, if it was top or bottom or middle, if they turn the barrels, if it was a really cold winter, if it was a really hot summer, different corn batches, because obviously corn has a season and every season's going to be a little bit different. It might be more rain, maybe a little bit more of a drought season. So that's basically how bourbon gets its flavor. As long as it goes in the barrels, it's expanding and contracting.
Yeah.
So that's how it's getting its oak. I know a lot of newer distillers have figured out ways to add a little touch to it. This Maker's Mark that we're going to be tasting today, they do a great job of adding staves into the barrel when it's already been aged. They will add staves. So each stave has a different flavor. One might be like an Appalachian pie or like, I'm sorry, an apple pie spice or something. One might pull mocha. And so what they do is there's 10 staves. I'm just talking about Maker's Mark and their creativity with making things taste different. So there's 10 staves and you can pick those different profiles. So there's 5 different profiles and you can pick which staves you want. And so the one we're going to be tasting actually has 5 of the 10 staves is all mocha. So the one we're going to be tasting has definitely a more chocolate flavor. So they take these staves and then they put them into the barrel that had already aged for however long they wanted it to age for. And then they seal it back up. It goes into their limestone cellar and they will age it for an additional 3 months. And that's how, Makers has made it really creative. Now, the cool thing about that is with having 10 staves that go into that barrel and having 5 different profiles of taste, you're getting 1001 possibilities.
Wow.
So the one we're tasting today is one of 1001 that these restaurants will pick for single barrels that these different groups that go out and buy single barrels they can pick.
So every barrel's going to have a little bit different.
Yeah, especially with Makers, with having that as an option. The one we're going to taste is really cool. Here in PA, you can't go to a restaurant. If they have a single barrel, you can't buy a bottle there. PA is strict. We go to Florida, St. Petersburg, and we love this restaurant called Stillwater Taverns. And that guy will get like 5 or 6 different single barrels, select barrels that he picks. And he will allow you to buy them at MSP price right from the restaurant. So when I go to St. Petersburg, Florida, I always bring like 2 bottles home that you can't get anywhere else but that restaurant.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's kind of cool. I have a question for you though. and it's on the taste thing. Have you noticed like there are some people that like different fruits, vegetables, and things like green peppers? I can't stand them, but there are people who love them. And do they have different taste profiles that you would notice that between 2 people that like 2 different types of fruits and vegetables? And
I haven't spent a lot of time on like the food portion of it, but I do know like if somebody likes a rye, they like a rye because it's, has higher rye in it. It's not as sweet. Rye is going to be bold and spicy.
Got to give you a bite.
So
Yep.
I do notice when talking to people, if they're like, I really like an oaky one, I'm able to recommend, okay, we'll try this bourbon. If they like real caramel or toasted, I'm able to recommend them. But like, I don't see any type of correlation with, I like carrots, so I'm going to like this type of bourbon. I just am able to point them in their direction. Like if they're like, I like Angel Envy, I can tell them you will like this one then too.
Interesting. So we're sitting here talking about this Maker's Mark. Let's get into trying it.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So tell us a little bit again, what kind of notes we're going to maybe explain to us non-bourbon people.
Yeah.
The proper way to actually nose it,
Absolutely.
and breathe it and then drink it. What Carmine, I think, called it chewing.
Yeah, he I heard his episode. He called it chewing, and he was at a distillery in Tennessee, but it really is Kentucky chewing, but that's okay.
Kentucky chewing.
Yes.
Kind of like it could be Pennsyltuckin.
Right. It could
Pennsyltucky.
be. Yeah, we're here in PA, so
Yeah.
so the 4 things you want to look for when you taste your bourbon, you want to look at the color of it. That's more just for conversation. So this is a very nice copper color. It's not too light in color, and it's definitely not too dark in color that would say like, oh, that's probably a 12-year bourbon. When you go to nose it, you want to keep your mouth open. It looks silly, but by keeping your mouth open, it allows the ethanol not to like punch you in your face.
So is this what you typically do for your bourbon tastings? You're going to instruct them on the proper way to do this?
Yes. Yep. So you'll keep your mouth open. I immediately with this one get caramel, which is typical for bourbon, but I do get brown sugar.
I get burned.
Keep your mouth open.
I did.
And you still get that. So this one, just so you guys know, is 108 proof.
108.
When you go to taste it, you always want to coat your mouth first. So hold it in your mouth for a little bit.
Very good, Brett.
And then, oh, that's never fun. By the second and third taste sip, you'll definitely be able to pull the notes. So for this one, I definitely get chocolate. I get your oak, but I definitely get that vanilla, just like a sweet cream. The coating on your tongue is a little bit thicker. I always tell people if you add a couple of drops of water, it will open up a whole new journey.
I've
So I
heard
did
that
bring
too.
water.
Yeah.
If anybody wants some.
All I'm feeling is burning.
No, I took that swig, tried to hold it, went down the wrong pipe.
I feel delicious.
You like it?
Yes.
I have heard about the water. You want some too?
Yeah. Just pass the glass down. Or, okay.
And sometimes what happens when you add the water, it actually makes it more bold. This one didn't for me, but sometimes it might even make it more spicy.
But before I take the next sip, the longer that's sitting there, those caramel notes or
Yes.
toffee notes are starting to come through.
Yeah, nobody ever takes one sip of bourbon and is like, that's amazing. You have to sip it 2-3 times.
I think why I'm not a bourbon back in my younger days, Jack Daniels did me in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't even stand the smell of that anymore.
So that Jack Daniels, it's kind of funny with their story. Their distillery is in a dry town. So, I mean, besides being able to taste it at the distillery, you can't buy it and take it from there because they're in a dry town. I always think that's so funny.
Huh. So have you been down through the Bourbon Trail and hit most of them?
Yeah. So I've gone 5 times now.
Homework.
Yes, homework. I can write it off. It's amazing. I've gotten so good at doing it for our friends that we go with. We'll go with like a couple couples. I've gone with my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. I like to be in control, so I have the itinerary down. You know, we move. If we're there for 3 days, we're doing like 21 distilleries. That doesn't mean we're drinking at every distillery, but we're going there. We're going to the gift shop where you can only get bottles there. You can't get them anywhere else. All of the bars in distilleries are beautifully made.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the decor, the bathrooms are even cool to visit. So
Has anybody told you that, hey, you're not an employee, stop?
no, but I've definitely asked a lot of employees questions. I'm like, when I retire, I want to get a job doing distillery tours, even maybe early retirement. I would love to live in Kentucky. And my husband and I even talked about how cool would it be for a husband and wife team to do it together. And then maybe that would cause hype where people are like, I want to go see the husband and wife team at Heaven Hill or whatever. But yeah, that's like a dream of mine to definitely do distillery tours.
What's your favorite one?
It's kind of hard, but Willet Distillery always has a special place in my heart because it's what got me into bourbon. So Johnny Drum is a Willet product. It's not expensive at all, but it finishes with an apple spiced pie, and it's just amazing. It's good to sit by itself or make a cocktail with it. When you visit the distillery in Bardstown, which is the bourbon capital of the world, it's just really old school. It's like very old school. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's in a barn. The way they do things in the Rick House is like what they did probably, a long, long time ago. So that's probably one of my favorites. But recently what has kind of grown on me is definitely just the makers. It's just really cool. I took a tour there back in May, and just their story of how they have evolved over the years to really make that whole situation where I was talking about with putting different staves in, and then you have 1001 possibilities. It just opens it up to, you're really going to be able to try different bourbons for a long time and not have the same one.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's not like with beer, you always have the same hops, the same combinations. Or always someone has a blueberry, this person has the same blueberry. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
With bourbon, I've been noticing it, like you said, you're going to get so many different flavors out of that,
Yeah,
which is
for
pretty
sure.
interesting.
It's still stuck in my throat.
You need some water?
No, I'm good.
he needs a pepper.
Oh, no. No.
There's a story behind that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No,
I was like, that's kind of weird. Eat a pepper with your bourbon?
I was down 2 years ago. I think we went to the Jim Beam plant. We didn't do the tour or anything. We didn't have time. We were on a motorcycle ride. I really wanted to stop at like a couple of the other ones, but weather was coming in. It's like, all right, we're going to hit Beam and then we're going. So it is interesting to go down there and see the history behind what bourbon is.
Yeah.
And the other part of what you said about what bourbon is, it has to be in a white oak one-time barrel.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
so,
a lot of waste in my head.
Yeah. So people say that. So I always try to tell them a little bit what happens with that barrel after it's been used. It will go to wineries and they will put their wine into it,
Craft
beer,
breweries.
coffee places, honey. People make furniture out of it. So they do get reused. And the nice thing about it is they even go over across the country because in Scotland, they don't have those regulations with Scotch. So they can reuse barrels many times.
There was a,
Oh, wow.
what the heck was I watching? I think it was one of my boring history things about the bourbons, the whiskeys and stuff that our bourbon barrels are going overseas for the Scotch whiskeys,
Yep.
the Irish whiskeys. They are being reused all over the world. And it was cool. I think it was Maker's Mark during when Prohibition that the younger kid is the one that wanted to keep it going. And maybe that's how all this came up. I don't remember the story. I'd have to go back and look at it. But it is interesting when Prohibition hit how all these businesses suffered.
Yeah.
And, well, we just kind of had a pandemic here 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of those industries had to come up with creative and unique ways to survive.
Right.
Some
Yeah.
of the distillers were making what? Hand
Hand
sanitizer?
Yep.
sanitizer.
Yep.
That was a great story.
Yeah, hand sanitizer, but you can drink it.
Questionable, right?
Yeah.
But it's cool. During Prohibition, I think there was only 10 distilleries that were allowed to stay open. And they were for writing scripts for not being able to sleep or having pain or whatever. But a lot of people misused, obviously, wanting scripts written because there wasn't alcohol.
Oh, wow.
So do you do other than just bourbons? Do you do like, will you branch out and do wines, whiskeys, or that? Or is it just strictly the bourbons?
Just strictly bourbon. Yeah. All bourbon is whiskey. Not all whiskey is bourbon, but that's kind of my jive. I mean, I love wine. Don't get me wrong. And back in the day, I drank beer, but I have definitely fallen in love with the bourbon industry for sure.
I think it's awesome because you can go to an event and say somebody like me and my son Ben come to something like that. We're not bourbon people. And you're going to give us the instructions, the history, and basically guide us through. And have you ever had somebody that's never had a sip of bourbon at one of your tastings?
Yeah, all the time. I actually did one last fall for a women's networking group. It was 17 women. None drank bourbon except for one and myself. I got a lot of choking, a lot of burning. But at the end of my presentation, which usually lasts about 50 minutes, and then by the time I take questions and answers, it's like an hour and a half. I had like two of the women come up to me and they were like, that Woodford Double Oak, that's delicious. And they bought it. And their husbands were so proud of them that they were drinking bourbon. So
Yep.
I would say it's so funny. Every time I do these things are different. Almost every time I go to a bourbon tasting and say it's a mix between men and women, I always have that one man that sees me walk in and he's like, what does she know about bourbon? And I can just see it written over their face. I'm like a little annoyed, but I'm used to it now. And by the end of it, they're the ones that are having me stick around for questions and answers. And it's like their guard came down. And then I have women that they don't drink bourbon. They're like, I'm just here for my husband. And then they're like, wow, this is really good. You did a great job with like making me like it.
Educating.
Educating.
That is pretty cool just to see more of the female spectrum to be drinking a heavier bourbon and such.
Look at the majority of your commercials now for like Bullet and all that.
Yeah.
It's women
Yeah.
in the
Really?
commercials.
I don't watch much TV anymore.
But yeah, it's like I think it's such a unique story. That's why I reached out when I saw at Ales for Tales your bourbon prize. I think it was part of
Like
the
a
auction.
raffle item. Yeah.
I bid on it, but I was like, I don't have $500 to throw at it.
They go pretty high. I'm like a little surprised. I'm like looking at myself like, how are they going so high? But
It was a fundraiser.
it's unique and it's a fundraiser. Yeah.
But so if somebody is curious to book you, do they just we'll have your email
Yeah.
that they can do that. Look you up on social media.
Yeah. So Facebook, I just have Talk Bourbons to me. You can reach out to me there. If you do the email, I check that daily. This is just a side hustle for me. So my daytime job, I'm all things advertising. I have an advertising agency going on about 13 years. So I help people place billboard plans, media plans, anything really that you can think of that would relate to your marketing plans. That's what I do. And then 3 years ago, we started See Me Rolling, which is the LED trucks that you might see rolling
seen
around
them.
town.
Yep.
So we're pretty much all things advertising. I just started this honestly because when I came back from Kentucky, my friends were like, I've never seen you talk about something that you're so passionate about. You should figure out how to do this like a Tupperware party or a Mary Kay party. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And it just kind of went from there.
Instead of the pink Cadillac for Mary Kay, she's going to be driving around in a fucking oak barrel.
I know. I would do it. I would so do it. Or sleep in one. They have them in Kentucky. You can sleep in a barrel.
I have seen them. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, man. It's phenomenal. You've only been doing this a couple years as Talk Bourbons.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I do it like maybe one time during like 1 week in a month. And then for corporations, I'll take as many of those because they can happen during Monday through Thursday at like 4:00. That works for my schedule. I have 4 kids that are really busy in sports, so I try not to book things in the evening. But yeah, it's just a fun side hustle. I don't want to do it too much to dislike it. So right now it's like the sweet spot.
Kind of like us. This is a not-for-profit business.
Not for profit. No matter how hard we try.
This is our side hustle too, but we ain't making any money.
You got to change that up. You got to have some sponsors on it.
Yeah,
We
I
have
know
to-
a marketing girl.
We have to get viewership up.
yeah,
and
we got to be.
I just
yeah.
don't have the time
We've
to
had a
dedicate
couple.
to that.
We've had a couple of
Offers.
We've had some offers to put their product on our site and everything else, but we're not geared up yet for that.
Yeah.
You know, we're
Yeah, it's
Take your time.
We got to get geared up for that.
It's a fun hobby, just kind of like you.
Yes, because you don't want to dislike it.
It's funny you talk about your husband. So when I order stuff for the studio, the last thing I ordered was the switching board.
Yay, Tim.
Came from B&H Photo. Now I got her into photography. I bought her the nice cameras and all that. She goes, "Is that for me?" I'm like, "Nope." What'd that cost? Don't ask.
Don't ask.
It's your hobby.
Are you gonna make money at it? Well, we're trying
Yeah.
One day.
someday. But yeah, it's just a fun hobby.
Yeah. Bourbon's not a cheap hobby. I can tell you that.
So how many bottles of bourbon do you typically have at your house?
I have an app that kind of keeps track of it.
Oh, you got an app for that?
Yeah, I got an app for
There's an
that.
app for that.
I think currently right now it probably sits at like 120.
Oh, wow.
Beats my bar.
It's expensive, yeah.
So do you like to go to the Fig and Barrel downtown York?
Yes, they have a great selection
I
and
gotta
the
say
price
they got
is
a
great.
nice selection up there.
Yep, that's a good one.
I always watch when if the few times I do go in, I always wait to see when that guy's going to have to roll that ladder to go to the very top shelf because that's the good stuff up
Right,
there.
that's the good one. Yep.
It's like, oh, somebody got some money.
Yeah, I would say Fig and Barrel locally, and then the Cove. They have the best selection of bourbon. I mean, when I walk into the Cove Whiskey Bar, I'm in like heaven. The amount of bourbon that he has there.
You could do your cigar thing down there because that's the cigar whiskey bar, right?
Yeah, we've talked about it. I think he's recovering right now from a knee injury or a surgery, but we've definitely talked about doing it maybe in the winter.
What about the Whiskey Rebellion in Carlisle?
Never heard of that.
You have to go. You talk about awesome steak, primo steak, but they also have a bar with top shelf whiskey. One of them is under a glass.
Oh,
So the last time my wife and I were there, she said that bottle was like $600-700.
oh wow. Yeah.
So a little pour like that was like $80.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm like, whoo, no thanks.
Yeah, that's pretty pricey. I'll tell you a funny story. One time, my husband and I, we were in DC, and we don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but it just happened to be on Valentine's Day. We were there. We were moving our stuff from our condo in Florida. We were moving it home, and DC seemed to be the stopping point. Walk into this bar, and I see this bourbon that was not opened, and I was like, I'll take a pour of that. didn't ask for the price point. I just was like, I'll take a pour of that.
Oh man.
Get the bill. It was $90 for a small little pour. It's kind of funny because no wonder the staff, the bartenders, when they opened the bottle, because it wasn't open, they were smelling it. They were trying to like lick the shot glass, like, and come to
never
find
had
out,
it.
it's like, yeah, well, that's why, and that type of money for a little pour like that. I said to my husband, I was like, I know we don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but thank you.
That was nice. Yep.
He's sitting off to the side over here, just like turning red. Like, yeah, I remember that night. Oh my! You guys got anything? You guys are quiet.
No, we're not.
I'm still recovering from
We're
Yorktoberfest.
not that. Yeah, that's for sure. That was interesting and long.
So, what's our second one going to be?
Yeah, so we're gonna taste Bardstown Bourbon Company. This is gonna be finished in cognac cask. The nice thing about Bardstown, so when I told you guys I liked Willet as much as I did, and it's like old school feel. The second, one of the first distilleries I ever visited was Bardstown. It's very modern technology. They're a newer distillery, so with them being so new, they have to blend with other establishments, other distilleries. And the one we're going to be tasting is blended with a mash. It's basically, it tells you how much is going to be from a different distillery, but it doesn't tell you the distillery. They don't want to release that.
Okay.
So 73% is going to be from one distillery, 10 from another, 10 from another, and only 7% is going to be from their distillery. The unique thing about that is they have to pull from other distilleries because they're so new. They don't have as much juice as everybody else. But in the bourbon industry, they get along way better than the wine industry or maybe even the beer industry. They're all friends. They're like, yeah, you want some of my juice? Go ahead. You can blend it. So they work really well together. The only thing I will note about this one is, even though it might be aged with one of the ones that it's aged with is almost 9 years, but because the lowest bourbon that it's aged with is only 6, they have to go with the lowest one. So just know when you're tasting this, there is juice in here that might be 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to pour myself some. I
And-
think you guys already have it.
I'm
So
going to hand this back to you.
this
Yeah.
is
Actually,
still a
pass it.
bourbon, even though you said it's blended.
Yes, it's still a bourbon. It is blended. And like I said, it after it ages, so like they're gonna go with the lowest age, they're gonna say 6 years. It then gets stored in a cognac barrel for an additional 15 months. So if you like cognac, you're probably gonna like this finish. That's one thing. I do get again, we're gonna look at the color. It's beautiful, it's amber. It makes you look really smart, like ooh.
It is very light colored, light bodied.
And then nose it, keep your mouth open.
Well, we'll see if I hack on this one.
Yeah.
Coat your mouth, keep it in a little bit.
I'm going to watch.
Gotta keep a close eye on him.
I have an itch, Dave.
Yeah, I see that.
So for me, this one I definitely get a lot of blackberry notes and oak. But I think that it's a very smooth finish. I didn't put any water in it.
You want it?
Yeah, I'll take the water.
I can definitely, on that first sip, taste the blackberry notes.
Yeah, yeah. And so this one, sorry, I'm out of it's 111 proof. So we went up in proof a little bit. And that's kind of what they tell you to do when you want to start low proof, go to the higher proof.
That's rather tasty. I am not a cognac man. I'm not that fond of it. I will drink it,
Yeah.
especially if it's free. Someone hands it to me. But this is good.
Yeah, it's very good. The price point
This
on
is
this is a little higher than I normally like to spend. $150 for the bottle. But I really like Bardstown brand. That's probably one. The first time I toured that, and because that would have been 4 years ago, they were really new. We were in the Rick House, and we were like, how do you guys get all your juice out? You know, because you don't want to be just a 2-year bourbon.
Right.
And they were like, well, we blend it. And we're like, well, who do you blend it with? They're like, look up above. We can't tell you, but just look up above in the rick house. And we looked up, and it was Angel Envy.
Oh,
wow.
And that was 4 years ago. But I know Bardstown is definitely one that they are making a lot of friends in the industry because they want to blend. And like I said, they all get along.
So I'm going to compare this to the David E. from Hidden Stills. So for me, I don't get the blackberry note out of it, but I do get a sweetness out of it. I still get a little bit of the burn, but it's got a very sweet palate to it that I could drink this. This would be enough, but I could drink this.
yeah. I don't want him coming down here from someplace, but I think this is a little better. So don't drive down to my house because he knows where I live. But I kind of like this. This is better.
Now, is that available? That's not available
So
everywhere.
this Bardstown can be available in PA, but this Ferrand one is how you say it, is not available in PA right now. And it is also a limited edition. So I got it in Maryland, and I think there was like 10 bottles on the shelf, but I don't know. It's probably pretty hard to get.
Oh, wow.
These are business expenses.
Yes. Yeah, you got to write them off.
Yeah, we should do this and find somebody that we can send the business expenses to that allows us to do this. But
They used to call that what, an Irish car bomb or something?
yeah, Irish car bomb.
All right.
I'm not Irish.
I'm not either.
Everybody wants to be Irish, though.
Yeah.
Everybody's Irish at least one day a week.
Yeah,
Right.
I
One
would say
day a year.
One day of the year.
Yeah,
St.
one day.
Patty's Day.
I got Scotch in me, so you have Scottish background in you.
That's one thing I always wanted to know.
Every once in a while, I have
do
Scotch
I
in me.
have
We are a mixing bowl.
a mixing bowl.
Yep. It was
Okay.
all put in there, and we created a mash. It's called the
nice.
American mash.
What's your mash bill?
Probably 80% corn.
I was going to say something else, but
Go for it.
probably 80% something else. Bullshit.
Oh yeah, that's more of 90.
I was at the doctor's the other day, and she's like, "How tall are you?" I said, 6'2", full of poo. She started laughing. She goes, "I never heard anything buddy like that." I'm like, "You didn't know they stack shit that high?"
That's funny.
So, Jamie, what else do you do besides? Are the other businesses you mentioned your businesses?
Yeah.
So you are a true entrepreneur.
Absolutely, yeah. We, my husband and I own the advertising agency. It's called Mid-Atlantic Media Hub. And then, like I said, 3 years ago, we started See Me Rolling, which is the LED trucks. They're the first ones in the central PA area. There are others that come into town occasionally, but we're the ones that are right out of York, Pennsylvania, that are LED trucks.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Because I have seen the trucks that they're basically a rolling billboard.
Yeah.
They're up at the Amixville exit.
So you're thinking of probably our competitors, which is like Do It Outdoors. Ours are LED, so they're like giant TVs.
And I have seen them.
Yeah. So they're on F-150s. They fit in like perfect parking spots that are downtown. We got a bigger one like 2 days ago, so we're really excited to launch that one. We haven't really launched it yet to the public. Yeah, but the ones you're talking about on Amixville, that'd probably be Do It Outdoor, and they're all static.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
basically a rolling billboard.
Yeah, the
They
static
just-
ones are vinyl.
Yep.
Ours are able to, you can switch out your ad within 5 seconds.
That quick.
Yeah.
Technology.
And they can run video. They can stream football games or baseball games. So
I-
a lot of times people will hire us for a tailgate at your business.
I was about to say we should just play a football game up on the city streets right there, and we can all pull up our chairs and beers. Bourbon.
Absolutely.
All right, now the next one will be a stage that, you pull up and the truck folds out and you got a tasting table up there. Hey, come on up. You're going to be like Bob Barker. Come on down to the
Come on
bourbon
down.
tasting time.
We could totally do that.
But I see that you also serve in other things. You're part of a Central PA board. What's that? The AMA,
Central-
AMA Central PA Board.
Yeah. So, American Marketing Association, for the Central PA area, I'm on the executive board for that. So, what that is a nationwide organization that each area opens up different chapters. We opened one up about 3 years ago for Central PA. So, we help people in all marketing. Anybody in marketing can come to these networking events. They can be, when they're members, they can listen on the seminars on like social media boot camp or whatever it is. But my passion is marketing, so it's really nice to be a part of an organization like that. So I sit on that board, and it's really cool to be able to help people in my industry.
That's awesome. So besides the bourbon tasting, the marketing, doing an executive board, I know what that's all about. With my industry, the automotive repair, I serve in my association as well. And kids. When the hell do you have time to go out and taste all these bourbons for your homework?
I guess I have to make time. It's we find the time. My husband and I looked over. He's over here, and he doesn't want to be on camera, but we
tried.
We tried. We definitely tried.
Maybe
we
after
find
two
the
more.
time. If it's just like once our kids get home from a sporting event and it's just the two of us on our patio, I have to do some homework. He's like, okay, I can help. He's willing to help.
How old are the kids?
I'm stepmom to triplets that are 14.
Triplets.
Wow.
Wow.
And then Michael's 16. So I have 4 kids, 14 and 16. I came in the triplets life right around when they were like 1.5. So
You got your hands full.
we have 4 high schoolers.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow. I just can't imagine all those boys. I know you grew up with us 3.
Yeah, so my wife and I, we have 5 boys.
Okay. Wow.
3 of them are going to graduate the same year, so I know where you're going to be at. They're
Yeah.
like, holy.
Yeah.
All right. Holy shit.
That's a lot.
One
Yeah.
big party. That's all it is.
I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome, the story behind you getting into this bourbon tasting, and enjoying it with your family, your husband, and spreading it out, the word out to people like me that are not bourbon people. And you may be able to convert somebody like that to, you know what, that ain't that bad. And it
Yeah.
is something that they could go home and enjoy with somebody that, with their friends or their husbands or spouses, and keep the ball rolling down the road. I think it's cool.
I think with bourbon, I look at it very much as a connection. You're not drinking personally. You're not drinking bourbon to get trashed.
Unless you're at a
drinking it-
frat party.
I mean, and if you are, can you afford the bourbon? Like, are you drinking the right bourbon? I think of it as like you're drinking it for conversation. Many times, like we have my in-laws over and, we're fresh cracking bourbon that nobody had. And the conversation that comes from it, we love getting together with our friends and doing that. I think it's one of those things. It's like, it's really nice to just get together, have a good conversation about it. That's what I love about it, the connection it brings.
Yeah, so
That's pretty
I was
cool.
kind of talking to you guys off on our break. Like the Colossus back there, it was a beer aged in Merlot barrels for several years at 24%, and it's not a pounding beer.
No.
It is a sipping beer to enjoy with your friends or family and have a good conversation. This is some of our favorite.
Oh.
This is our Bourbon County from Goose Island. We've already drank your bottle and Kevin's. I still have mine. But this was aged in, I think, 4 different whiskey barrels. You were looking at the tag. Booker's.
That's a good one.
All right, now I do need glasses. Knob Creek, Basil Hayden, and Baker's. So it was aged in 4 different. This is a
Yeah.
sipping. This is an enjoyable beer. You're not going to sit and pound. You're going to enjoy it and have a good conversation.
yeah.
Absolutely. And it's one of those, I go right back to, it's great that the distilleries get along as well as they do. To want to get together and make a bottle like that, and it's probably hard to find.
Yeah.
Um,
It was I think it was their 30th anniversary bottle.
yeah. So that's what it's all about.
So when you get to these, you tell the story, And do you find I know you kind of touched on it, people asking you questions. What are some of the questions they ask you?
Oh, well, at the end of it is when they really ask questions, and then they just really know I'm like the real deal. So they're asking questions like, if you go to Kentucky, what is your go-to distillery, or what would you avoid, or if you planned a trip, where would you stay? So that's really what the questions are about. Very rarely do I get questions about the actual products. I get questions about, can you help me plan my next trip? Like a lot of times, like by the time we're done with my presentation, they're like, I want to go.
I see travel agent coming into the marketing side of your businesses.
Yeah, I have planned one other. I had planned a trip for somebody, and it was for somebody's 50th birthday party, and they didn't want me to do the actual tours for them. They wanted to use their own credit cards and all of that, but I ended up making like $100 just to like say, here's my recommendations, avoid this. Because when you do one tour, like you don't want to do 2 or 3 tours a day when you're there. They're all going to run together. You want to do like maybe 1 tour a day. And then there's some that I would recommend over others.
Yeah. And like we went to the Jim Beam. To experience it, you got to be there more than an hour or 2 to get the full experience of any of these distilleries down on the Bourbon Trail. Like you're saying, make it a destination.
Absolutely.
Just don't make it a flyby. Hey, we're going to stop there and breeze through it.
Yeah.
You want to enjoy it and get to understand the history behind them, their stories, just kind of what we're understanding your story.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
You got to spend time with it.
What's the future of this? I know you talked about pre-retirement. I mean, is this something you can see blossoming into a full-time gig?
So it kind of depends on where our kids land college-wise and after college, where they land. But if I could like look into a crystal glass and kind of think like where I want to be or what's going to happen, I would love to buy some land in Kentucky, build some casitas or barrels that people sleep in, and come up with my own guided tour where everybody hops in my vehicle. I take you to different distilleries
in the bourbon barrel van.
Exactly. Nobody has that yet. They have the casitas that they sleep in, but they don't have a van.
You have the marketing background.
Yeah.
You got the LED light trucks.
I should totally do it. Yeah. I mean, that would probably be my goal, but I think honestly just doing what I'm doing and just enjoying it. Not doing too much of it that it just becomes like, oh, that's a job. No, this is just a side hustle. It's a passion.
Yeah, you still want to keep it fun and you want to stay happy with it. You don't want it to be like, oh, I'm going to work again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of like me. Oh,
Yep.
shit.
Yeah.
The only time I'd probably be happy is, I get to make the donuts this morning.
Yeah.
I get to drink some beer this morning. No, I think that's kind of why when I saw what you did, I'm like, it's an interesting story because I've seen it presented elsewhere and you're local. Like, this would be a great story to tell.
Yeah,
and
I appreciate
you got an
it.
awesome story.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
And we can feel the passion and the knowledge behind what you're doing. So your shit.
Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoy it. So
And
it's kind of nice getting together and just chatting with people. Like I said, I've done a lot of tastings where people see me walk through the door and they're like, what does she know or whatever. And I'm okay with that, but I like when their guard goes down. You definitely see it. They're like, oh, she does know what she's talking about.
I think the last one I sat in, it was a female that did it, and she knew her shit.
I don't think you're going to be in this industry as a female and not know your shit, because you're going to get it. You're going to get the shit from the slack. Exactly. You're going to get people that are like, if at the end of your presentation, if you don't know your shit, you're going to look like the ass. So you better know your shit, getting into it.
I don't care what gender you are. If you go into any job and you don't know what you're talking about, people are going to smell the bullshit.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I think this has been a phenomenal story. Tell us again how they can find Talk Bourbons to Me.
Yeah, so you can just look on Facebook. I don't have a website page, so just on Facebook, it's Talk Bourbons to Me. You can reach out to me in a private message, and I'll hook you up with my email or a text message. That's typically the easiest way to get a hold of me, the email or text. But also, I know you're going to put my email link on.
I will.
Yep.
And
We're gonna
so
have a
that's
link.
like easy for everybody to reach out. And if they're trying to spice up a party for the fall or the winter, this is a nice way to do it. I definitely think I do better with parties of 10 to 12 people. Come in and, hang out. I tell everybody always says, what should I make or food? I'm like, I don't really know what pairs with bourbon other than chocolate, but charcuterie, you can't go wrong with that. So, or like smoked meats. But it definitely spices up your party.
Ooh, smoked meats and bourbon. That'd be a good time.
Or a good cigar.
Yeah.
That's
I got to get better at that. It's like, I don't smoke them to know, but,
I'm an ex-smoker. I want to get to a point where I can enjoy a good cigar and not want it the next day.
oh yeah. Good goal to have.
And the
Yeah.
problem is I'm going to smoke that cigar like I used to do the cigarettes. I'm going to inhale that sucker.
Yeah, I have something that you can take with when you drink your beer. I have something that you can have with it.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No. What the hell pepper
Where'd
is
you
that?
get that from?
This one, I'm going to put it here in the camera. This is the pepper that you took the bite out of.
Did you go get a chocolate one?
This is a chocolate one. It didn't have the chocolate. I didn't think I can save it with the chocolate on it, but this is the pepper that they handed you when you on camera ate the top of the. This is the actual pepper.
Does anybody want to try it?
No, I'm completely good.
no.
and well, just a little not history, but somebody asked me. He says, "Well, what were they eating? What kind of peppers are you eating?" He says, "They were all exotic. They all had special names, like
And let me tell you,
death
there
from."
was no fucking chocolate related to that pepper. I don't care how you
Nothing was
nosed
pairing
it,
with it.
how you breathed it. There was no fucking chocolate in that pepper.
And they all were created by scientists. They call them farmers, but they have they had special seeds that they divided these seeds up and sent them off to the other farmers to grow these peppers. What were some of the names that they had, like death trap and
Rose of Shahini.
and-
Yeah.
it was, and they were special peppers. And he wanted to try one, and he bit the top of this off.
Yeah.
And it was all over.
So
paid
did you
for it.
dig it out of the trash?
Oh no! I actually went up and purchased a couple of these.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to make
Couple.
his meatballs with that.
Yeah, I make a spicy meatball for our parties. Yeah,
Spicy
spicy
meatball.
meatball.
That would go good with your bourbon.
was
a spicy meatball.
Yeah, there was a commercial like that. But anyway, I want my friends to live.
Just had to bring that up, didn't you?
I when I got that, I purposely told her, I says, I am going to just dangle this in front of him at our
Dangle
podcast.
a pepper instead of a carrot.
Yes, dangle a pepper in just for fun. I didn't buy just one. I
What
bought
else?
here. I bought a couple.
You might want to wash your hands after touching.
Yeah.
So, just a little background. I was the MC at a pepper festival contest last weekend as we're recording this. And these people were eating these by the dozens.
Yeah.
Super hots. And I tried one.
And he wanted to see were they really that hot.
Didn't go that well.
And they were really
I'll
that
s-
hot.
I'll stick to my beer. And I have enjoyed a couple bourbons, even though the one choked me the first time. But because of what Jamie described, and I'll take your husband's analogy, I believe she can put it in your mind what you're tasting just by talking about it. It's a mind game. Everything's a mind game. And because of how you said to sample it, you walked us through the step, which I think if you need, book this lady to have a different kind of party and have some enjoyment out of it, because she's going to walk you through this whole thing and maybe open your eyes to a different product that you would never think about.
Yeah.
Do you guys got any last comments? We got one more bourbon here
Yeah.
that we're going to try.
Yeah, well, you'll have to see what this different bourbon that we have here. We'll have to try that, and we'll have to comment on that.
Yeah.
And but I'm sorry. I'm glad you let me tease you a little bit there.
Yeah. Well, I had to give a backstory because you're dangling peppers, and we didn't talk about peppers.
Yeah, well, it wasn't about the pepper. It was about just seeing your face when you saw that pepper.
Should I eat one now?
No,
No, I don't think so.
no. These were actually these. I didn't buy them. They were actually donated. I think we'll put their name on the site who donated.
Okay.
For
We could do that.
yeah.
Is that our first sponsor?
No, these were the people. These are actually. This is one of the people that provided the peppers for the festival, and I just thought it was impressive that they actually go out there and farm this stuff, and they wear gloves and hazmat suits, and never mind.
It's crazy.
Ben, any last comments?
No, I actually enjoyed this. It has been really interesting to see your background come from just regular advertisement, and you were able to take that into another level of bourbon and give people more insight. And you're out here advertising bourbon just for other people. Like I said, I think that's pretty cool just to take your basic everyday career and turn it into a hobby that you love to do.
Thank you. Yeah.
So one last thing. We're not going to talk price, but it's not cheap to host one of these, correct? It can range. I guess it depends on the product you're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. For my time, it's anywhere from at least $175 for my time, but that's without the bourbon. So, if somebody feels comfortable spending $60 a bourbon and I buy 4 of them, add that cost up. If somebody wants $100 a bottle, then that's the cost. But for the most part, to just have me there, it's around $225. Yeah. And that's for anywhere from like 8 to 30 people. I don't go more than that.
You kind of lose the one-on-one personal
correct
touch.
You have a lot of people talking over each other, so the sweet spot is really like 8 to 12 people.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Because I think
reasonable.
The one I went to, it was like $75 a person, and I think they got 20 people. But I've also seen them where they were booking $200 a person.
Yeah, better come with a fillet.
And they were bringing in some like really. I didn't go to that because out of my budget, and it's not my forte. Now, if it would have been a beer night, I'd have been all over it. But from what I heard, they brought in some hard to get products.
Oh, that would be cool.
I don't think it was just bourbon. I think they brought like some of the high-end scotches.
Yeah.
Like Dave gave me a scotch that he was all proud of, and I spit it out. We got
True story.
I was like, "Yep, nope, not for me."
It was 18-year-old scotch. In I said, and my comment was, I said, some 25-year-old shit. I'm glad I didn't do any of that.
Glad I didn't waste that on you.
Just wasted it on me.
Yep.
Jamie, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Hopefully
great.
we've did you justice to let you tell your story. We look forward to seeing this progression go forward and keep spreading the word about bourbon.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
No problem.
So this last one before we get out of here is a friend of mine home distilled this, and it is a bourbon. So we're going to kind of surprise you, and we're going to sample it out and let you kind of say yay or nay.
Yeah. So the nose on it is very sweet.
I do get a sweet nose along with that burn.
Corn. Very corn driven.
Did you say burn?
You know what? That wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's very smooth. So when you taste it, I'm getting a lot of toffee, but it's butter. Like, how do I say that? When you coat your mouth with it, you're getting a thicker coating.
I do feel that.
So I would definitely say your friend's onto something here. This is good.
He's onto something.
And I don't even know what this tastes like with an ice ball or with some drops of water. That definitely enhances it.
I guess before we get out of here,
it's smooth.
Do you like yours, what is it, neat or on the rocks?
It depends. If it's a very expensive bottle, I want to try it neat first. If it's very, very high proof, I want to try it definitely on an ice ball. But I drink it always. I just don't ever mix it with Coke. That would be a crying shame.
Jack and Coke. That's why they do that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That Jack and Coke. I like it on real ice, but there are people who put it on those cubes.
I like a big cube.
You can.
So
Okay.
I'm a big fan of the cubes that you can get.
Yeah.
And they're made. I don't even know how you make them. My husband makes them. I got it for his birthday one year, and they are clear as anything. So like you can
Oh.
hold it up to the light and see through. That is amazing. That's primo.
That's kind of cool.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Now, about the cubes I was talking about are the
Ice cubes out of the fridge.
no, you buy them there and you freeze them and they
Oh.
don't dilute the alcohol in them, so you can use.
Are they
them.
like in an ice tray?
Are they reusable?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're
So it's
reusable.
not a real ice.
It's not. It's not ice. It's actually metal.
Like stone.
Like
oh,
a s-
metal.
Some are metal and some are stone.
It's a Timu product.
Don't go there.
From China. So I've definitely dabbled into those. The problem with them is then when you want to dilute it because it's high proof.
Yes. Yes.
So you would probably use that in more something that's a
Yes.
little bit lower proof.
Right.
I've had
That's
those
what
as
I was
well.
asking if you ever wanted to use those.
I
'cause
have stones.
you have
I
the
don't have the
stones.
metals.
I
yeah.
I prefer the real ice that's made in
Yeah.
in an ice tray or by machine.
Yeah.
And because what it does is it leaches the water when it melts, and as it melts, you get a different
Kind of doing what
flavor profile of your drink as you drink it.
kind of
No
doing
matter
what the water
what-
drops. So
Whenever you get
Mm-hmm.
a new bottle to try, you should always try it neat.
Neat.
Because
Mm-hmm.
when you put ice cubes in from here, I mean, wherever your water's from or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to change the profile. If you just drink it neat, you're going to get it in its purest form.
Right. Exactly.
well, on that note,
Yeah.
Jamie, again, thank you for joining us
Thank
on
you,
the Central
guys.
PA Pour. So we have a little saying. It won't be beer today.
Yeah.
I was about to say it should be changed up.
Yeah.
We're going to go out with booze.
Booze.
Or bourbon.
I was about to
Bourbon.
say
We'll
We'll do
bourbon.
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 So from Dave, Ben, myself, Jamie, and we had a great time. Let's raise a glass and let's
Yes.
all be bonded by,
By
bourbon.
bourbon.
By bourbon.
Cheers.
I love it. Cheers.
Cheers.